All right. And the energy that's coming in from September into October is the lovers. And that's so funny that that popped up because while I was shuffling, I saw it. And I thought of, I just thought, Capricorn. I didn't really, associate it because the lovers actually is a Gemini card. So maybe a Gemini is coming in for you. But this energy is of union, of a really healthy contract with somebody else from September that's coming in through October. So some of you, Caps, might have found a very lovely love partner, and you guys are continuing on and it's going well. So I like that for you. I'm going to move this up a little bit. Oh, and we have the Seven of Swords, Eight of Cups, Two of Discs, Queen of Swords, Five of Cups, Three of Wands reversed, Nine of Wands, and the Page of Wands. How about that? Only one reversal. Interesting. Move it up. I'm going to have two more cards for you. Illusion and the Initiate. Yeah, only one card in reverse. So that's an interesting... That doesn't happen very often. All right, so let's just trickle down with the lovers here because you did have a really positive connection happen that will be kind of budding through October. However, there's going to be some, this is very similar in regards. Aquarius had very similar energy of kind of the sneaky Pete and having to walk away from it. And I don't think it's from this union. I actually think it's separate. With this sneaky Pete, I feel like, linking it to the lovers, it could be an ex, it could be a family member who doesn't approve of the contract you're making. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you have a romantic partner that no one in your life likes. It could be a work situation or a new friend that you've made that you're very connected to. It's a soulmate connection. And no one understands it. And so they, are like, well, I don't understand why you're hanging out with Ricky all the time. He seems like, kind of shady. And you're like, no, I know him. I trust him. Kind of. But the Seven of Swords energy is kind of coming in to kind of undermine this relationship, undermine your positivity that you are bringing into October. And so this is really saying you just need to step away from it because it's just going to continue on. The Seven of Swords is coming for you, not necessarily to take something from you, but to leave you with less, if that makes sense. They don't want what you have, but they don't want you to have it either. Okay? So it's like misery enjoys company, misery loves company. That's the energy that's happening here, is that they're like, I just don't want you to succeed. Yeah, I don't care if I succeed, but I don't want you to. Which is actually a little bit more dark and a little bit more difficult to deal with than somebody just like taking your lunch at work. Because they have no intention. Like they're not working to gain something, they're just working to bring you down. And I know that sounds really dark, but that's what's coming in, okay? And so you have to just walk away from it because there's no way that you're going to solve that situation. They aren't doing it to it's not a black or white situation. It's very dark shades of gray. And so you have to walk away to find your own balance and figure out what you need to do. And so if you need help, I want you to look towards an air sign, Capricorn. I want you to look towards an Aquarius, a Libra, a Gemini energy. Gemini, haha. Your little new love partner up here, or really great friend, or, just someone who really you connect with. So, yeah, I'm getting Gemini energy, absolutely. But this Queen of Swords is here to help, is here to help you be like, hey, let's look at all the facts. Let's look at all the black and white of the situation and use that to go forward instead of, bemoaning the fact that this sneaky Pete is, like an arch nemesis in a way, is somebody who kind of, I just want to bring you down. kind of, that darkness. But this Queen of Swords is really, and I mean, it's in the upright, and they are looking out to your future. They're looking for your best interest. And it's hard for you to see that because you're really like in it. You're in the thick of it, like really sad and upset that somebody would be so awful to you. Why would they do that? Like you're just working, right, Cappy? You're just doing your thing. And why would they want to come and ruin that? And instead of focusing on that, you have to turn it around and be like, yeah, I could understand. I am doing so well. I'm doing so well. And so that sometimes does bring in some shady people because they get jealous. They get upset that you are succeeding and they are not. So understand that, even when you are doing positive, even when you are in your highest of light, there will still be people who want to bring that down. And so it's kind of turning like this weird tailspin energy. The Three of Wands in reverse is like, well, I just don't know where to go from here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this, Well, you have to fight for what you love, Cappy. You have to fight for what you believe in. Even if you're tired, even if you're exhausted, you have to stand up for that. The Nine of Wands is showing up, and it's really talking about, the Seven of Swords energy is conniving. But you have to be stronger than that, and you have to stand up for you and stand up for who you love and what you believe in. I just love that the Lovers is trickling down all over this because you do have the support of love and light behind you, and that is supreme. All right. And you do, it's like you have people here just popping up, like this energy of the Page of Wands and not in the reverse. Young energy, giving you hope, giving you joy. Looking at the bigger picture of everything that's happening. Page of Wands inspires through laughter, humor, creativity. And they're here to give you that message. Capricorn, of your beauty, of how much you are inspiring, what an inspiration you are, right? By being this young, vibrant, this could be like a cousin or a young niece or nephew, or if you have children, a young child, but it's young, it's vivacious. And when you see them, it lights you up and it gives you energy to carry on. And if you feel a lack of energy in October, if you feel, it's starting to drain out, hang out with the youngsters, hang out with people younger than you, because they will just light you up. They will give you joy in your heart again and remind you why you are here. We do have the Illusion and the Initiate, and this energy together is conflicting. All right, it's very conflicting. I want to show them to you, like right next to each other. All right, because when we have the Initiate energy is collective, is spiritual, can be very religious, but is in this earthly ground of like going to church, sitting with your community, praising higher energy. And then Illusion is the darkness, can be the ego, but also habitual things that bring us down. And so it's so conflicting. It's like complete opposites. And so I think that's what you're going through, is this conflict, this inner conflict through October, closer to the end of October. Because the conflict is, do I deal with this, Seven of Swords energy up front very aggressively, or do I, take a calmer route of not yelling and screaming and possible physical force and look to my community and look to the people I love to support me and help me through it. It's so conflicting. And I think what you're going to have to do, Capricorn, is really find a balance within that. We have the Two of Discs up here. All right. And it feels like this is like you're a little helter-skelter because of the situation popping up of having to walk away from, the Seven of Swords. And having to walk away from them leaves you at odds within yourself. Like, well, maybe I should stand up even more so and get in their face and see how they like it. When you know, like in your heart of hearts, what will actually alleviate the situation is not giving them the time of day and not giving them, the attention. Because that's what they kind of want you to do. They want you to give them a ton of attention regarding this and then just slowly suck you dry. Oh, you and Aquarius, and maybe an Aquarius energy might be doing this, or vice versa. You know, that there's always a possibility, Capricorn, that you're the one who's being a sneaky Pete. And somebody's asking you to step away and stop doing that negative energy. And you just can't, because you just feel it. You feel it, and you even though people might not agree with it, and they might be calling you the sneaky Pete and not understanding your methods, you're standing up for it, and you might be getting obsessive about it. There is a dark side to everything. I just don't like to focus on it. And if you are in that energy, really think about, why are you obsessing over a negativity? Why are you obsessing over bringing someone down when you have so much to give? You have the Lovers, you have so much, and people love you. So if you're in that negative energy, seek help. Seek help from your community and from love and family. But I don't think that's a lot of you. I think that's a few, and I felt compelled to say it because I feel like there's going to be a couple people who actually resonate with that, and I just want to tap on your heart a little bit and acknowledge you. But okay, let's actually pull from the Tarot of a Moon Garden deck. So I have a new deck, and I just took the Major Arcana cards out, and I'm going to use those today just to kind of bring it together as the overarching energy, just added guidance for you for October. It's a beautiful deck. So, Capricorn. Judgment. Let me show you. Alright, so this energy of judgment here. I want you to really clarify your road in October. Okay? When you are dealing with the Seven of Swords, even when you're dealing with this beautiful Queen of Swords who's here to help, but might have a very slicey and dicey tongue, know your intention and know your agenda. What is your agenda in October? What are you trying to complete? What is it that you're trying to create? Be very clear about that and stay the course. Make sure that course includes health for you, includes health for those around you, and higher vibration. But know what your agenda is, instead of, because there's going to be times when you're going to lose balance and ego's going to win, and you're going to want to puff up your feathers and say, well, you know what? I'm sick of this, and I'm going to let my ego lead me this time. And ego's not bad. Ego is something we all need. Sometimes you need to puff up your feathers. And I do think in this situation, you are going to have to stand really strong and, put your chest out a little bit. But you have to do it in a way that it can be received instead of deflected. Okay? Because if you puff up your feathers too much, then people are on the defense and can't hear you because they're trying to defend themselves. So there's a level, there's a balance that you're going to have to find. Balance.